Happy Thursday. It's not typically a manufacturing, and sorry, I have dirty plates in the background. I got to get rid of that. It's not typically a manufacturing day, but I thought we should do an end of year social jam. So I have a bunch of people already showing up in the background. I'm just going to go over some house rules. So I'll probably bring 2 or 3 people in at a time and give them about 3 to 5 minutes to just kind of talk about some of the things that, they were really proud of in 2023, some of the things that they weren't so proud of in 2023, and something they're looking forward to in 2024. This is just an opportunity for you all to meet new people in engineering and manufacturing, get a chance to hear their stories and some of the things that they're working on, and just kind of expand your network, because I'm a big believer in community building and networking. I think there's connections all over the place that provide opportunities. And then after they do that, I'll probably politely kick them out so more people can join in, because I think I can only have like 10 people at a time. And if you're listening in, please drop comments in. We already have somebody saying Happy Thursday. I don't know who that is, because LinkedIn is being really weird, and I've tried yelling at them several times and they don't seem to be listening to me. But thank you for joining, whoever that is. And then we also have Dale Parker. Hello, Dale. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. He has the best bacon donuts where he is located at. So if you're ever visiting Dale, make sure to try the maple bacon donuts, because they're awesome. Before I get started, there is something that I want to do real quick. One of my LinkedIn connections, his name is Brian Warren. He is a fantastic individual, and he just found out that his 2-year-old Jake has cancer, and no one wants to have to deal with that around the holidays, especially. And a 2-year-old shouldn't have to be fighting against cancer at 2. They should be running around and being a toddler. So there's a few things that I want to share. There's a couple links that he shared with me. So if you are in the mood of giving, please, I'm all about our community supporting one another. And he is a technical teacher in Mississippi. So he is helping prep the next generation workforce. So he's helping the community out. So anything that we can do for him, I'd greatly appreciate it. He's a good dude. So you can either Venmo him at this link here, and I'll share these links again towards the end of the conversation. There's also a Cash App that goes directly to his wife. She ended up having to resign a little bit early so that she could be home with Jake, which is completely understandable. As a mom, I would do the same thing for my child. And then we also have a GoFundMe link. And then if you're having a problem looking at this on LinkedIn, you can also go to mavensofmanufacturing.com YouTube channel and check it out there. So we have 12 people. If you can't get in, please give me a chance to just wait a while, because I already have 12 people in and I can only accept 10. So we're going to bring in Nancy, Larry, and Tony. Nancy, you guys have similar last names. We're going to bring Nancy O'Leary and Tony Neary in at the same time, give them a few minutes to kind of talk about what they want to talk about, and then I'll keep pulling people in. So just bear with me. And yeah, here we go. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Tony. How are you?
It's like the rhyming last names have to go together.
I didn't prepare for that at all. How are you ladies doing? Thank you so much for joining us today. So real quick, I just want you guys to give a brief introduction of who you are, what company you work for, what your position is, and then, just kind of tell us what you're proud of from 2023, what you're not so proud of, what you're looking forward to in 2024. And then once you're done, I'm going to send you on your way and then pull in some more people. So who wants to go first? Nancy, you want to go first?
Sure. Thanks for having me on. Again, Meaghan, I really appreciate it. Nancy O'Leary. I'm part of the team at Custom Direct, and we are a marketing agency that really focuses on bringing growth initiatives to manufacturers. And that's a mouthful, but I'll just say this. We really do just work toward a company's bottom line. If you come to us with growth goals, we help you achieve them. What we're really excited about this year for fiscal year 2023, with just 9 manufacturers, we delivered bottom line impacts of $6.47 million. Their investment was less than $10,000, and the average ROI was just over $550,000. And so with that, with kind of laying that as a groundwork, we're excited. We know this much about manufacturing, and we know this much about marketing. So we really love the manufacturing industry. And so at the very beginning of this year, we said, okay, we've really got a good movement going. We're really bringing some great impacts. Now, how can we somewhat like really give back to the manufacturing community that we love and the folks that we work with, and maybe even the folks that we'd aspire to work with? And that was really the beginning of this concept that we introduced as an initiative then in October for Manufacturing Month, and that's called Manufacturing Mavericks. So the quick plug is if you go to manufacturingmavericks.com, it's a celebration of the next generation of manufacturers. And so we provided profiles of young adults that are pursuing careers in manufacturing. They've got extremely compelling stories to tell about why they chose their career in manufacturing and what their manufacturing career has meant for them personally. And so we just believe in the power of representation. So for this next generation to understand what does a career in manufacturing look like, no offense to anybody that's over the age of 25, but you know what? Students and their parents probably want to see folks that are maybe just within a handful of years of having completed high school. And that's what these Mavericks are. So these Mavericks just have great stories to tell. Our big news is while we started the idea and the initiative as a kickoff for Manufacturing Month, thinking maybe we would do it every year for Manufacturing Month, the engagement and the excitement was so significant that we've decided we're not stopping. And so we're running the program all year long. And while October will always be dedicated to that new generation just coming into manufacturing, coming out of high school, the rest of the year, we're going to celebrate folks no matter how many twists and turns your career took. If you're working in manufacturing and you're on the shop floor, we'd love to have you as a Maverick to tell your story.
And I already met one of your Mavericks, and he was amazing. Like, I cannot believe this kid was so excited to be an intern or an apprentice for a tool and die company. And he just was so highly knowledgeable at such a young age. Like, he has some really good mentors. So I applaud all of the work that you guys are doing with that whole program.
And there's just really quick, there's so many great organizations out there, and you especially, constantly encouraging folks to learn more about a career in manufacturing. And so our little tiny effort is just to help shine a spotlight on all the other efforts that folks are doing. You know, we've been asked why we're kind of jumping into the space. It doesn't really seem to make sense for a marketing agency. And we laugh and say, we're just here to do what we know really well, which is marketing. Let's shine a spotlight on how great this career in manufacturing can really look like. And what better way of doing that than to have profiles? And it's hard to explain. It's best if you just look at the website, and all kidding aside, you know, the picture of the Maverick is there. Direct quotes from them about their career in manufacturing. And there's also information about the incredible companies that they work for and the apprenticeships and internships that they provide, as well as whatever community colleges that the Maverick may have attended or may still be attending. So again, we're just there to help students and their parents understand there is an incredible future career available in manufacturing, and this is what it looks like.
Excellent. Well, Nancy, how can people get a hold of you, and what is the quickest way to connect with you?
Oh gosh, if folks want to connect with me on LinkedIn, that would be great. Otherwise, my email is O'Leary, as in Mrs. O'Leary, O'Leary, Oleary at customdirect.com. Or really just go to manufacturingmavericks.com. There's a link back to our website, and easy to even complete a contact us form there, and it'll get to me pretty damn quick.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nancy. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to move to Tony and then drag someone else in. To anyone tuning in, if you see a message that the studio is full, just please be patient with me. I'm going to be rotating people in as quickly as possible. So if you see that, I'll add you as soon as I can. Thanks so much, Nancy. Happy holidays, and we'll see you around. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
All right, Tony, you are next. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing well. Tomorrow is my last day in the office for the year, so I'm kind of excited about that. 2023 was a big year for me. Started my new role at coming back home to SME, and it's just been so exciting to see the work that we're doing to really engage that younger workforce. So my title is Director of Community Engagement and Workforce Innovation, but the work I'm doing is growing diversity, equity, inclusion, and access for career pathways through STEM and CTE and to advanced manufacturing. So we've got some really exciting projects that I can kind of say they'll be coming in 2024 that we've been doing a lot of heavy lifting this year. But it's been great to be in this role, serve advanced manufacturing, and really help drive the mission and purpose of SME to really support U.S. manufacturing. And that starts with talent. It's the number one gap. It's the number one conversation in workforce. So we're working on new K through 8 solutions that I will be really excited to launch next year, keeping more females and really looking at equity for urban and rural schools outside of some of our suburban and elite programming as well. So that's it.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
and I want to give a shout out to you too. So I asked Tony to be one of my mentors for this year, and she said yes. And I'm very grateful for that, because I think you're one of the greatest women leaders that this sector has to offer. So I really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to 2024 when we can connect more, because you are going to Australia for 3 weeks. I'm super excited for you, and I hope you have a great trip there. But please connect with Tony and SME. They're a great organization, and they're doing a lot of things. I'm hoping that we can pull them in for an event that we're planning for June. I did see that Drew signed in the background, so hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more. But Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys.
2024, yes. And so just so people think I'm not like frivolous just going to Australia. I was born there, raised there till I was 13. I'm going home to see my parents. I haven't been home in 9 years. So I'm taking my 2 kids, and unfortunately not my husband. He'll be staying home holding down the fort. But the kids and I will be enjoying 3 weeks, and I will be unplugging, disconnecting, and enjoying being a mom and a daughter, because I don't get to be a daughter very often. So
Right. Well, have a safe trip, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks.
Bye. Hello, Jill. You're next.
Okay, thanks.
How are you?
As you know, I'm a fan. I'm good. I'm on travel in St. Louis, and this week I'm hitting a whole bunch of different tech topics. But this is my manufacturing session for the week. But I follow a lot of the manufacturing podcasts, and so there's at least one with the manufacturing executive. He's Joe Sullivan's out of St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. We know Joe very well.
Yeah, so I haven't met any of you all in person yet. So I look forward to the day that happens. I didn't make it down to South Tech. It was a dream, but it didn't work out at this point yet.
Will you be at Automate next year? Because I see that you have STEM and robotics in there. Well,
yeah. I'm hoping to make contacts in Missouri around manufacturing. I'm slowly winding my way that way. And I do have a lot of contacts in FIRST robotics mainly. Been doing STEM volunteering a lot. But awesome. I should let somebody else who's got a bigger message. I just wanted to click in, and I think I have you on another screen so I can watch you without being in this StreamYard now. But thanks for letting me say hi.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Looking forward to seeing other comments.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Joe. Have a great day. We got Emily. How are you doing, Emily? And I'm pulling up Becca from the backstage too. So Emily, who are you, as people don't know?
I am Emily Wilkins, marketing model. Sorry, I'm trying to get my face from behind the.
Hold on, I'm gonna remove that. There
we go.
Hi.
Hi. And so my company is called Marketing Metal. I work with small job shops, so machine shops, fabricators, integrators, anybody that's doing custom work for larger manufacturing companies. And I help them develop an awesome brand that actually reflects who they are and what they're great at, and tells their story in an authentic way. And I was on Mavens just over 2 years ago, and that kicked off my career as like a talking head person in manufacturing. So thank you, Meaghan, for being the launch pad.
I just appreciate you so much, because you're always so willing to go out of your way and help people. Like, you helped me in a really big way with my website. So I'm really looking forward to continue working with you. So everybody stay tuned with that, because the Mavens is about to get somewhat of a new look, not too drastic or dramatic, but Emily is helping with me with that. And I'm super excited. I can't wait. But what is one highlight that you have from 2024? Like, what's one of your most proud moments?
So many. It's hard to, I know we talked about this last night. Like, I just have so much to be grateful for this year. Our retreat that we were on in May or March, early March was amazing. I got to speak at FabTech. I've made a huge impact on my customers, which has been great. We've launched a lot of awesome new brands this year, and everybody's happy and loves what we've built for them, and that's why I do it. So
that's awesome. What are you looking forward to the most in 2024?
I don't even know. I'm like so focused on getting this I have another website launching next week, and I've been heads down. But just making more of an impact, helping more manufacturers grow. I have a lot of cool customers lined up for early next year, and I'm sure we'll see each other at some shows next year, and
maybe in dino suits again, like we did this past year, which was awesome.
That was a highlight for sure.
Well, Emily, how can people get in touch with you and reach out to you if they have any questions about their marketing strategy?
Yeah, I'm Emily Joanne Wilkins on LinkedIn, and you can go to marketingmetal.com. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd love to connect.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Emily. It was great seeing you, and I will be connecting with you again because I definitely want you to come back on to Mavens next year at some point and talk about your growth and what other things you're working on. So thank you so much. All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Next, we got Becca, and then I'm bringing Dave Turner in from the backstage area. So Becca, hello. How are you doing? It's nice to see you.
Yes, I'm fantastic. It's really nice to see you too.
I think I have you scheduled to show up on Mavens in 2024. So I'm really excited to talk about some of the things you do. Do you just want to provide a quick intro and some of the things you're working on in the manufacturing space?
Absolutely. And yes, I am so looking forward, like more than I'm looking forward to being a guest. It's really exciting. Like when I learned about the group, I was like, what? This exists? This is so cool. So as far as what I do technical and medical translation. So primarily German and Japanese to English. And translation is all written. So people picture an interpreter when I explain what I do. So an interpreter is spoken. So that would be like somebody at a board meeting or in a hospital room, whereas I translate the written words. So these would be, I do a lot of mechanical patents, websites, white papers, spec sheets, operating manuals are by far the bulk of what I do. So anything written like that within the manufacturing sector. So producers of manufacturing equipment or tools or biotech, pharmaceuticals, anything like that, I handle it.
That is really cool. Well, what's one of your proudest moments of 2023?
Well, I really have two that are tied for my proudest moments. So when I got into translation, I wanted to add in, so my primary domain is technical. My background is nuclear engineering technology and manufacturing engineering. So former engineer. And yeah, it's a very windy sort of story, but I wanted to add a second domain. And so I actually had gone back to nursing school. So I graduated nursing school earlier this year and got my RN license. I actually graduated valedictorian even. So I am super proud of that, ran the business the whole time, and it was really tough, but I'm very proud that I did it. And then I was interviewed on Assembly Audible about being a subject matter expert translator. So that was the other like big shining moment of 2023.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. What are you looking forward to then in 2024 other than being on Mavens?
Yeah, other than being on Mavens, I have so much to look forward to. First of all, I will be at IME West in Anaheim in February. So that's like a 5-in-1 trade show. That'll be automation, packaging, design. It's kind of, medical devices. There's a lot going to be going on at that trade show. So I'm excited for that. And then I might be rebranding to Words by Becca. I don't know. I'm still kind of tossing that one around. We'll see.
That'd be cool. Well, how can people get connected to you? We have a lot of comments coming up and it's kind of coming in fast, but Nikki Gonzalez will be on here in a moment because she's backstage. She said, wow, so impressive, Becca. That dedication is amazing. Absolutely.
Oh, so thank you. It's awesome.
If you need more women to connect to in the space, definitely reach out to Nikki as well as Allie G and Wyatt, Emily. Like we're all part of this massive group and we try to help women with their businesses and support them as much as possible. So if you're ever looking for those connections, don't be afraid to reach out to us and ask because that's what we're here to do. We're here to uplift everyone. So what's the easiest way to connect with you, Becca?
LinkedIn is a great way to connect with me, and everybody listening, please connect with me. I'm also a big fan of just community, and just we have no idea when we're going to need to be in each other's networks. We don't know when that's going to be helpful. So if you're listening, send me a connection request. And if you want to find me in another place in addition to LinkedIn, my website is a great place. So translationsbybecca.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Becca. I hope you have a
Thank
great
you.
holiday, and we'll be in touch for sure. Have a great day.
You too.
David, you are up. How are you?
Fantastic.
So, David, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing for engineering and manufacturing?
Okay, I've spent 20 years in manufacturing in plants, doing process engineering, so a lot of inside the pipe, kind of material handling, reactions, that sort of thing. So recently, actually, I'm celebrating my 1 year at Process and Automation Specialist. It just started August of last year, so we closed out the year. Still paying the bill, so can't complain about that.
That's good and successful.
Oh yeah. So we do a little bit of everything. I'm not big enough to say no to anything just yet. So
You'll get there.
A lot of design works out there right now. So we've been elbows deep in just novel design. So that's really been interesting. I joined a lot of industry groups as well, like all the ones I didn't bother with when I was actually in industry. Now it's like, hey, that's actually really interesting. Let me go ahead and join that too. Like NFPA, ASHRAE, all the fun ones.
Yeah.
At A3. So
that's a good one too. I think it's great to join those types of organizations because the reach that you get and the networking that you get out of it is just amazing. Like there's so many amazing people in all of those spaces. So it's really good to connect with those kinds of organizations. So David, what is one thing that you are looking forward to in 2024?
Honestly, I just registered for my first trade show booth. So I'll have a booth in Automate South.
Nice.
Assembly Show South. So I'll be in Nashville. So I I guess it's 2 days ago, I put it in and just got the confirmation this morning. So
congratulations.
That'll be interesting. But I'm trying to hit some of the key trade shows. I'll be at the Business Forum. So just networking and marketing. This past year, I've done essentially all LinkedIn marketing with nothing else, no cold reach or whatever people say, SEO. I don't know what those marketing gurus figure out. So marketing's critical, I think, moving forward. But honestly, I've been very blessed with the business I do have, and that's sticking around and just trying to grow a little bit, put a little bit more people.
So what would your biggest ask be for all of us tuning in outside of the marketing stuff that you're doing?
Honestly, just like anyone else, connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my website over there.
Awesome.
So no, it's just, I love the community. Just trying to connect with as many people as possible. Cause like Becca said, you never know who you're going to connect with. So
yeah,
it's always like everything I've done this past year has always been word of mouth. It's one person led to another. It's like, well, we don't do that, but here I know this guy that does. And all the business I have has been word of mouth, and it's been fantastic.
Awesome. If there's anyone that needs to drop soon, Kimberly, I just saw that you posted that, and I'm so sorry I didn't pull you in. But if you need to drop right away, let me know, and I can rearrange how people are coming up on screen. I want to make sure everybody has a chance to say who they are and some of the things that they're working on. So Kim, I'm so sorry that I didn't get a chance to pull you in before you dropped. But David, thank you so much. I hope you have a great holiday, and we will be in touch. I still have some stuff that I got to send you. I did not forget. That's coming. So
awesome. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Great Christmas.
See you later. And then we have, whoops. There we go. Is it Noosh? How do you say
I
it?
go by Noosh, but my full name is Nushrat.
Okay. I am so excited to have a conversation with you because we just connected on LinkedIn, and you are a CNC machinist. And I think I mentioned in one of my posts, I thought I could count at least 5 women CNC machinists that I know. And so I'm super excited to have you. What do you, outside of CNC machining, what company do you work for? Tell us a little bit more about you.
So I work for Race Winning Brands. That's like a big umbrella company. So I work with a company under them, currently machining valve train parts.
Okay.
I was machining valves before, and then I got my promotion to the valve trains parts side.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Do you
Thank
have
you.
any other like major highlights of 2023 that really made you excited about what you do?
Actually, being invited to all this sort of stuff and connecting with people on LinkedIn, that's probably my highlight of my 2023, as well as I'm sort of training myself right now. So I feel like the pressure that I have at work is kind of making me a better machinist. So I feel like that's also a win for me for 2023.
That's super. Well, what are you looking forward to in 2024? I know you had a goal of like owning your own shop. So is that still one of your goals for 2024? Do you have any else?
Most definitely. Another goal is to go to trade shows because I've never gone to one before. So I'd really love to in 2024. And also learn a lot more. I want to grow more at my job. So I want to be able to soak in as much as I can.
Awesome. We do have a question specifically for you from Andrew. What kinds of machines, devices do those valves go into?
Cars. They're for race cars, regular cars, anything. And bikes as well. We do bike valves as well.
Nice. And then another one is awesome to do machining. Just got to walk around some automated lathes yesterday. Really cool. So see, you already got a lot of fans.
That's
I'm
so
super
exciting.
excited
That's
for
so
you.
cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Tony Gunn reaches out to you because I think you'd be a really good story for MTD CNC. And I just started working with them. So if he doesn't want to interview you, I will make that happen somehow.
He actually has reached out to me. We've talked.
Good.
I was super nervous. I was like, oh my God, no way. Jim Mayer earlier today messaged me and I was like,
he's a good dude and can testify to that. That's awesome.
Jim's a good dude.
He is a dude.
Meaghan has already been singing your praises to the other ladies. So we were really all pretty impressed with what you were doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's also another highlight of my 2023, meeting all these amazing people and like being exposed to all these amazing people. I would have never thought like that all this support was out there. So
it is. Yeah. We found each other through COVID. So like when we were on LinkedIn and doing our own thing, we connected with each other on LinkedIn, and then we met each other in person, and now we're good friends, and we have a group text messaging channel with each other, and we try to help each other out and connect each other. And Nikki will be on later, and she can add more information to that as well too. So it's been a pretty good thing. So don't be afraid to like reach out to any of us or any of the guys that are coming on too, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you out. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you, and I will be in touch with you because I definitely want you coming on Mavens next year.
All righty. So, thank you.
All right, have a good holiday.
You too.
And you are up. How are you doing, Ann?
Hey, girl. Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm pulling Hank in, the guardian of the General Directors.
Hi, Hank. How are the girls?
I'm going to pull
Sorry,
four
this is not my show.
Time. Nikki's backstage too. So I'm going to pull Nikki in too because
you know the girls are going to be very, very jealous. I told them I was going to be on this today, and they were both trying to feign sickness to stay home.
Oh,
I love it. I don't want to like encourage I wouldn't necessarily say that's bad behavior, but I don't want to encourage like kids skipping school. But I think that would have been a good reason for them to skip school.
I think so, but one of them already missed a week from being sick. So.
Oh, that happened to my son. He was out for a week, and they're like, he's like truant, and I'm like, he was sick. Like you told me not to bring him to school, so I don't know. It's weird. But Ann, I want to start out with you. Can you tell us who you are and what you do in engineering and manufacturing?
Sure. Yeah, thanks. My name is Ann Wyatt, and I am the president of Ann Wyatt Recruiting. I got into manufacturing some time ago, and my background has always been in workforce development and then in recruiting. And now I advocate for workforce development in manufacturing and automation and controls, as well as still run and White Recruiting. Do recruiting, do HR consulting, things of that nature. And I
Well,
do a
you're doing-
podcast.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing project management too. Like you help Allie out with a lot of her stuff, and then you help Automation Ladies too, right?
Yeah. So PCE is one of my clients that I'm working with right now. And I contract with her essentially on not only project management, but really leading her people and developing a high performing team.
That's awesome.
So,
and she's growing. Like she's blowing up everywhere. I'm so proud of her. Like it's awesome to see because when did she start PCE? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think between 2 and 3 years ago in terms of when she went full time.
She just blew up. I'm so proud of her. Like
yeah,
it's great to see everybody growing and like having a good time. But what's one of the things you're looking forward to in 2024, Anne?
Yeah, so that's a great question. One of the things that I'm looking forward to the most is really kind of taking some more of those skill sets that we're working and with Allie on developing for her team and adapting those to other potential customers, clients out in the industry. I'm also working on some more content, so I'm really excited about that as well.
Nice. Well, Anne, I just want to say thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure. I am trying to plan a trip to come see you because it's cold here and I don't like the Midwest when it's cold, and you live in Alabama and everybody seems so nice down there. So I want to just get all the hugs that I possibly can when I get
Come see me. I will give you all the hugs, and then we'll go to Houston and we'll just crash on Nikki's couch for a couple of days.
We'll do that.
And we'll make our rounds.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much, Anne. Take care, and I will definitely see you at some point.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
So I'm going to pull Chris Lukey into the conversation. We're going to do 4 at a time, so we're not making everybody wait a really long time. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. So I'm going to bring it back to Hank Priam because he was here first. Hank, tell us what you do other than be the father of 2 amazing little girls called the Junior Board of Directors. If you're not following that hashtag, please do because they are amazing and we love them. Even though I haven't met them, we love them.
So I'm an electrician by trade.
Okay.
I'm entering my 40th year in the trade. So what I do now is I work for a company out of Woodstock, Ontario here in Canada, Nuvair Systems, right there, little shameless plug for Nuvair, whichever side I'm pointing to. Anyways, we do material handling systems. So it's pneumatic conveying. If it can be sucked or blown through a pipe, we'll move it. So that my role here is I do all their automation. So I design their panels, I do their programming. We have a vendor that builds the panels for us, and then I will go to site and do the commissioning and startups, and see the world that way. So it's very interesting. I've done work for these guys since 1994 as a subcontractor, and they hired me full time about 9 years ago to do it in-house.
Nice. So what do you like the most about your job?
It's a good company. It's like a family company. Everybody gets along well. I do a bit of travel, but not enough to make it to the point where I really don't like traveling anymore. So, and it's always interesting. Every job's a little bit different. So, I mean, I've traveled coast to coast in Canada, coast to US. I've been international. I've been to Vietnam, Venezuela, been to Caribbean islands, starting stuff up.
Nice.
So,
well, can you tell us a little bit more for those who don't know what the hashtag Junior Board of Directors is and why that is important to you? Because I want everybody to follow that hashtag and understand the importance of us like trying to inspire the next generation workforce. So what is Junior Board of Directors for?
So the background to them is we have 3 adult children. They're all almost 30. The youngest is almost 30 now. So about 10 years ago, we got custody of the 2 girls that we have now. We picked them up from the hospital, and my wife and I now have full legal custody of Peyton and Aiden. And over COVID, when I was working from home and going online with some stuff, they would pop in behind me. And so at that point, I just started referring to them as a junior board of directors. And it just kind of stuck. So through all the LinkedIn, everybody on the screen right now, the girls have followed, listened to podcasts, watched you guys, and gotten a real interest. And they'll see some of the guests that you have. Like you bring up Barbie the welder.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we watch Barbie the welder, they're like, we want to try welding, Daddy. So I had to get the welder out, fire it up, and they still, like 2 weeks ago, it's a weekend. What do you guys want to do today? And Aiden was like, I want to weld. So I had to get the welder out again and let her weld. I just had a supplier give me a little micro PLC this week, so I can show the girls, start getting them interested in some coding and programming and stuff. And that was the reason behind that. So big change for us this year is we had homeschooled the girls up until this year. They're now in a private school, so they've gone to school. But I've already spoken to the principal, and what we're hoping to do, maybe not this coming year, but we're hoping to start they do an electives where for 2 hours a week for 6 weeks, they do something outside of the normal school thing. So I'm hoping that I can set up something probably next year where we can get 5 or 6 students in and do some programming, HMI, PLC, get some test boards set up, and just introduce them to this whole realm of PLC and automation and manufacturing from that perspective.
That's awesome. I wonder, have you gotten a PLC kit from Allie yet? Because she's doing the kids' PLC kits.
No, because I haven't set anything up yet other than some initial conversation, and they're very interested. So the school is actually going into a building program. They're raising funds right now, and part of what they want to do is dedicate an area to what they call makerspace.
Okay.
And
yeah, we have those here.
Yeah, they already said to me they're very interested in having me take one area of that and set it up for programming, manufacturing kind of thing.
That's really cool. Well, Hank, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of the year and you have a wonderful 2024. I'm sure I will see you around. And I know I need to make some time to come out to Canada and visit the girls because I definitely want to meet them and interview them if possible, if that's okay with you. But
yes,
I'm trying to get Nikki and Allie to come with so we can do like a 3-way conversation with them because I know Nikki and Allie love them and appreciate them as much as I do. So give them hugs for us.
Yes, and they love you guys. They definitely love you guys too. So like I said, they're going to be very jealous when they see this.
Well, tell them hi and thanks so much.
Aiden.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to pull Courtney in. Now, to anyone else who's tuning in, I do have some room in the backstage. So if you want to try to sign on again, I can pull you up later in the conversation. If not, I can continue this conversation with Nikki, Chris, and Courtney. Nikki, you're up next. How are you doing? If you don't know who Nikki is, I'm going to ask you to get out from underneath your rock and follow her because she's involved in so many spaces. Nikki, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Courtney, mute yourself.
Can you mute yourself a little bit?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You're cool.
Yeah, I do too many things. So I am so I guess I'll start with Automation Ladies is our podcast. Allie G and I host a podcast / a few other things. We do some lives and demos and things like that because we have a hard time staying in our lane. Which was entirely inspired by you, Meaghan. And by Courtney. I had to come up with, we did a presentation together, our first on-stage talk together this year. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my year. Going to Folsom with Allie and speaking about our experience with Automation Ladies. I've done speaking engagements often where I talk about technology or different things that, I know about supply chain. But I've never been asked to just talk about Automation Ladies. So I went through kind of the history. And the presentation, it was almost like creating a scrapbook type of experience because
that's cool.
It is crazy how quickly, like, let's say the last 2 years have gone since we kind of, came onto the scene, so to speak, or I came onto LinkedIn and found you and Chris and everybody having these great conversations, joined the conversations, and then started having our own. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride. So you can find Automation Ladies. We have episodes coming out almost every week on Thursdays, actually. We are releasing an episode today that we recorded at Rockwell Automation Fair a few weeks ago.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. We're also doing a live recording with Naomi Pittman, who is a master electrician. Yeah, so if you get a chance, we're going to have a live on our page later today. If you don't catch it live, it'll come out as a recorded episode at some point later as well.
And she's awesome.
She
Naomi's
is. She's
cool.
very impressive. And Hank's comment, he's a licensed electrician by trade, but is now running the controls, basically, and automation division of Nuveyor Systems. And I had no idea that there was that much or could be that much crossover. And I think that's one of the things we'll talk about with Naomi today is that, electricians don't just pull wire. Some of them do, right? But there's a lot of complexity in the space that we do and not a whole lot of like super clear path to get to somewhere like controls engineering, for instance. It's typically not a degree that people graduate with specifically. So we've just had a ton of fun getting to know tons of different people in our industry, figure out how the heck did they get into automation. Because I think, as we all know, like none of us grew up seeing this stuff. I mean, the fact that Peyton and Aiden can see Barbie the welder and then go, oh, I want to go weld. Clearly, they had an example of someone that welds in their life, right? And they have the opportunity with Hank doing that. But I think a lot of us women, too, underestimate the impact it has to see somebody like you doing something. Where I learned from my dad and a lot of other people did, from somebody. But that's been a huge eye-opener for me, just all the conversations that we've been able to have on the podcast, the people we've been able to get to know. And also learning how freaking hard it is to be consistent and create content like this and, do a podcast and not give up after 3 or 4 episodes. So my hat's off to you and to Chris and everybody else that's been doing it longer than we have. It really is, I think, a labor of love if you're not really, doing it because you're passionate about it. I'm sure it can be hard to keep that motivation up.
Yeah. But I think you brought up a good point, too. I think what we're doing is important because it's showing that women can be, very diverse in this sector. They don't have to be good at math or science, to flourish in this industry. But one of the conversations that we had previous to this when we were on a podcast together for another organization, and you were talking about how, like, when you entered into this space, you had that experience with other women where they were very competitive with you and they didn't treat you so nice. And I think it's really refreshing to see all of us come together and elevate one another. And we're not really competing with each other. We're just like, yeah, you won. That's awesome. Like, here's some more business, or here's this connection. Here's that. Like, we're willing to help each other out so that we can continue to grow and flourish. And I think that's a really great change that we're seeing more and more in this sector. So I appreciate you. I'm so excited about your guys' growth. If you guys are having a hard time looking for parts too, reach out to Nikki because that's what QuoteBeam does as well. So I didn't know if you wanted to give a little shameless plug about QuoteBeam and how you're helping.
Yeah, sure. So if we are talking about, kind of our highlights and things, and I went off topic and on a tangent and
that's okay.
a whole lot of other stuff for sure. That's my MO apparently. So for Automation Ladies, really, I'm excited next year to try to scale a little bit better the amount of content that we can get out of the conversations we're having, because that's been a struggle. And we haven't been able to scale the team. So I'm going to pull Anne in because she's developing, providing those skills for companies growing like ours that they're going through some growing pains and lack resources. So she will be seeing a new client in Automation Ladies in 2024.
Awesome.
If and when we get to it, I'll probably also pull in Emily to redo our messaging and our website or help with some of that. And then I'm also at a point now where I want to do catch-up episodes with some of our guests because we've had people move on to new positions, grow in their career. So that's really exciting. On the QuoteBeam side, so that's my day job. They are super gracious to allow me to do this kind of stuff and have supported Automation Ladies from the start. We have grown to 12 people now. So when I started about 2 years ago, I was the only employee. We were just, a couple of founders that had a vision of building something that connects our industry on the supply chain side. That, how can we get our projects done faster? How can we interact with each other as, partners, vendors, suppliers, customers, in a better way? Because we all have 1,000 things competing for our attention. Our inboxes are filled with everything from spam to, project stuff. And there's got to be a better way to collaborate where everybody can work together. We can see some visibility into what's available, how we can get things. So that's really what we've been working on. And I'm really excited. We've developed a product for distributors, for industrial automation distributors, that we're just piloting now. It's called Sales Pilot. So there will be more to come with that. We're going to be doing a launch in Q1, probably of 2024, as well as building a whole nother software product for the systems integrator or custom machine builder. So tons to be excited about there. But with the way that we can help folks today is just if you are having trouble with parts that are on back order or you can't find them in stock somewhere, that's really what we're doing. Is we're connecting a network of regional distributors that otherwise you may not be able to do business with, bring them together on a common platform so that in those cases where you're in a pinch, everybody can pitch in and help each other out and make it easy to find those parts and buy them through a common platform.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Nikki. Thank you for joining us today. And be sure to check out her live that's later today. They have a great guest, Naomi. She's amazing, and she's a great story as well, too. So thank you so much, Nikki. I hope you have a great holiday. Have a good one.
You too.
And then we got Chris up, and then I'm going to pull in Dale, and I don't know if I can do 5. Sean.
There you go. You got 5. All right.
All
Sean,
right.
Dale, Courtney, what a squad.
Right? So, Chris, how are you doing? I know that you went on your own this year. So do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because that's definitely got to be a highlight of 2023 for you.
I did. Yeah, I took the leap. Actually, this is kind of the second time I've done the leap to go full-time on manufacturing happy hour and helping manufacturers tell their story. So I've been telling people it's the honeymoon phase. It's off to a good start. You got your initial clients ready to go, but I'm just staying mentally prepared for all the trials and tribulations of entrepreneurship that I assume won't just gradually show up. They'll probably just come out of nowhere someday. So ready for that. But no, it's been great so far. It's nice having the freedom to do a bit more with the podcast, get a bit thinking a bit bigger with the events that we do at Manufacturing Happy Hour, having a bit of time to start writing my first book. So it has been quite the year so far. And, it seems like so long ago that we hosted our Manufacturing Champions event where we got a lot of this crew together live. That was February of this past year. And just to think of all the cool things that have happened, it's a lot to be thankful for and to look forward to what's ahead.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that you and I are hopefully planning for Drew, and Drew tried to sign on earlier, but he got kicked off. But we are trying to get an event together for June, and it's going to be great. So hopefully everybody will stay tuned for details about that, because it's going to be myself, Chris, and Andrew Crow. And when the 3 of us get together, it's a fun time, and we're hoping to bring in some of our friends as well too. And we like to have fun when we do things. So make sure you guys put that date. I said June 25th at first, but we changed the date. It's going to be June 20th. So put that in your calendar and stay tuned for more details.
And there is no try, as Yoda says. There's only do. We are doing this. It's happening because I came to one of my most important realizations about self-employment yesterday, and that is I can go to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio whenever I want. I don't need to put in PTO for it. And Cedar Point happens to be right down the road from Cleveland, Ohio, where this event is going to go down. So it's going to be a blast. June 20th. Get it on your calendars. Details forthcoming. It'll be a great way to, let's say, kick off the summer at that point.
Yeah. So are you looking for any more guests for happy hour, or are you pretty set for 2024?
I mean, there's a yes and a no to this. I am always open to new guests. There are always new stories I'm coming across that have a place on manufacturing happy hour. But I do need to set expectations with folks that it's usually not a right away thing. But it's I will say this: we've got an awesome lineup for the start of manufacturing happy hour here in 2024. But as the show continues to grow, there will be more opportunities for more folks to jump on. So for folks that are antsy for that opportunity that might be listening, there are a lot of events I'll be at next year, a lot of opportunities to make that type of stuff happen.
Awesome. I do want to pull this comment in from Jill. She said, many of you through your podcast make me feel connected to manufacturing people across the U.S. from rural Missouri. I'm grateful that you are able to make time to create your content. Most of you I listen to have been on screen today. Thanks. So see, what we're doing is important. So everybody who wants to like crack jokes with us for making content, you're welcome.
There's a great event going on in rural Missouri in early 2024. The Missouri Association for Manufacturers Conference is taking place down in Branson. So I know there will be some people from our community making their way down to that one. So I
might be there.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
So, all right. Well, Chris, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of 2023, and I will see you at 2024.
Happy holidays, folks. Thanks for doing this, Meaghan.
Yeah. Hi, Courtney. It's you. Your turn. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm fabulous. I'm getting all sweaty today. It's in California, not even lunchtime, and I smell like a locker room.
Nice. So, can you tell people who you are and what you do? Because you got a pretty cool job, I think.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I'm just obnoxious for a living. I'm a robotics engineer, I guess, automation engineer, anything that plays with moving toys, really. Currently, this year, I made a move from Universal Robots over to United Robotics Group, which has been a fun move because the acronyms are incredibly similar and the names are incredibly similar, and it confused everybody for a minute. Because my new company still also deals with UR arms, but I also deal with AMRs and SCARA arms and just all kinds of toys. So I get to make them all solve problems. And that's what I've been doing for like the last 6 months.
So what's one of your biggest highlights of 2023?
Putting on a dinosaur costume and running through the biggest trade show that I attend most years, with the exception of IMTS.
That is the funnest thing ever. And I'm not even worried that we made some people mad about it. Like, I was just like, be mad. I don't care.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in 2024?
In 2024, I'm involved a little bit more now in like just as a passion thing, running around and teaching younger folks how to use robots and controls in general, but mostly robots. And it's been really fun because if you put a robot in front of a middle schooler or a high schooler, they can figure it out pretty much as quickly as any adult, and in a lot of cases, like faster. So our next generation coming into this industry is, I think, going to be a lot more well prepared, than we were. And they're sharp. I have high hopes.
Didn't you start a robotics group too?
Yes, I did. We started a chapter, me and my friend Vinita started the Los Angeles chapter of Women in Robotics. So if you're watching and you're in Southern California and you want to join our chapter, please do reach out to me because we just formed it in October. So it's brand spanking new. Yep.
That's cool. Well, if you guys need to connect with Courtney, she's on LinkedIn all of the time. Be sure to connect with her there. And Courtney, if you had a big ask for our audience, what would you ask them?
I usually ask people to set aside whatever you think you know about other people or even technology, really, and be open to change your mind about stuff and learn new things.
Love it. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. Tell Greg I said hi. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. All right, we got Dale and Sean. Who wants to go first?
Doesn't matter. I can go if you like. So it's
go,
nice.
Dan.
It's nice to see you. I'm glad you liked your surprise package the other day.
Yes, Dale sent me a package with some hats and a t-shirt and then maple bacon donuts that were very popular, not just with me, but my family as well. They did not last very long in my household. So thank you so much for that. So Dale, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
So what I am is what I'll call an automation veteran. I was a plant engineer in a steel mill. I'm in the gas industry right now, and I'm the design engineering manager and running the electrical construction group. So we are doubling the size of our electrical construction team from 6 to 12 in the next few weeks here. Nice. We've increased our technician offerings for all of our maintenance technicians. As you've seen when I post things from on the dirt and in the shop, my twinsters, Rochelle and Rhiannon, they've both been bumped up on the scale of things. And Rochelle is now squad boss for me. She's out, she's leading an installation right now for a project that we're doing. And the object is for me not to be on the dirt for this project at all and to stay back in the office and try to do inventory stuff because we got to do end of the year things. And because I was out so much at a compressor station, all of my inventory control items have fallen behind. So they're trying to get me more help so that I don't have to be out as much and try to be more of the manager and less of the doer. So it's an interesting role for me because, you know, I've always been the guy doing and now I'm the guy teaching. So that's my big thing right now is to bring the team along to where they feel comfortable enough to do things on their own. And it's been really rewarding to step back and say, okay, look at where these folks were a year ago versus where they are now. Because sometimes they're really hard on themselves. And part of my thing is I have to be the work uncle and I got to coach them a little bit. Say, hey, look, you're doing great. You know, just be you and keep doing it. So, but I came from the manufacturing background and our company is actually taking on some safety projects now. Nice. Gas space. Edward Diaz is running a couple projects right now in a manufacturing space. We're working on some safety controllers. So we're diversifying and getting closer towards manufacturing. So you may see more of us out there. So
very cool. What's one thing you're looking forward to in 2024?
I think expanding our electrical construction group and doing more projects and making it more sustainable. When it's really small, you're living really on the edge of having enough projects to keep enough people busy, but now we can try to bid on some bigger projects. Nice. So we're hoping to build the team out and, win some more good stuff and try to do good things for people and hang out with people like you at trade shows. So, I mean, that's a wonderful thing to me. So that was the highlight of my year was hanging out with all of you at Automate. I mean, we had a great time and had dinner with Courtney and Allie one night. That was a highlight of a trip. So,
they are awesome. Awesome.
It's a good time.
Well, thank you so much for joining this quick update for Mavens of Manufacturing. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And I'm sure I will see you next year at another trade show. And I'm
all right. Very good. Thank you.
Have a good, yep. All right, Sean. Looks like you're our big closer. I wouldn't expect anything less. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing? I'm like the Tonight Show guest. That I'm sorry, we're out of time. We got to bump you, right?
No, I'm not bumping you. I couldn't do that. So, Sean, I'm super excited to have you on because when we first met each other, I don't think you were a very big fan of mine. So it took a little conversation and getting to know one another and building that trust up before you were like, okay, she's not such a bad apple after all. So
no, I'm always skeptical of anybody I meet. So it's nothing personal. When we first met, it was we got introduced to each other through doing marketing, for R&D. And I didn't know your background at all. So I'm like, all right, what are these marketing people going to do for us? So, but
I think that's one of my favorite things about you is like, you're very blunt and you're just very direct and you don't hide your feelings or opinions at all. Like you just are like, this is how I feel. And
I've always said brutal honesty is the best, the best philosophy. It's if something is not going your way or something's bothering you or you don't like something, I mean, be polite and respectful about it, but you're just going to come out and say that this is not what I like. And the other person may go like, whoa, that's not my intention. this is my intention. Oh, okay, good, great. We're on the same page. So,
Yeah.
once I got to know you and got to know your work and all, I really respected it a lot. You and I have had a lot of private conversations about, your career and your path and all. And, I've just been really, really proud of what you've done with, Mavens and the rest of your career. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that because I do have high respect for you. You are very well known in the industry. Some people have favorable opinions, others don't. But that happens when you have a big network and
Hey,
some
haters
people
gonna
are not
hate.
gonna like it. Right, exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to? Because I know a lot of people know you from R&D automation, but you're on your own now again in Florida, enjoying that nice warm weather. I bet it's so cold here, and I'm so jealous that you're in Florida. But you started a new channel, and I know that you're connected with Olist Robotics as well too, right? So give us some more information about that. What have you been up to?
So I've been gone from R&D for about a year now. I took 6 months off or so just to kind of decompress and do a lot of house projects. But honestly, I was contacted by several manufacturers and other automation companies and packaging companies, as well as private equity groups, venture capital startups. I mean, just honestly, my wife teases that she goes, "You're on the phone more now than when you were working back at a full-time job." But really, it's networking with a lot of different companies, helping startups there's a lot of startups that are really, really good at what they do technically, but they just don't know the automation industry and they don't know the players. So just trying to help them out with that aspect. The private equity firms are always looking for M&A, advice.
Yeah.
And the manufacturers and the equipment manufacturers are, hey, you had a successful company. We think we know what we're doing, but why don't you come on in and just take a look and just tell us, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you see in our business that you like, and what do you not like, and what would you do differently? And I've gotten some really good, feedback and a lot of word of mouth. I really not advertising too much, but people do, contact me quite often about that. So, and I've started doing some more writing. I started a Substack. I used to do a lot of writing when I was younger. And I just enjoy it. So I've got a newsletter out there. You can go to my LinkedIn and find the link for it. It's about automation and private equity, economics, robotics, primarily more the technical side of things. But so it keeps me busy. Got a lot of irons in the fire. So I'm doing a lot of little things, which is nice because you don't get sucked into one individual thing. You kind of get to get bounced back and forth.
So what are you looking forward to then in 2024? What's one of your big goals for yourself?
I think one of the big goals is taking some of these little things and making one of them a little larger. Like I said, I've got a lot of little irons in the fire now, but I've always been somebody. I need a purpose. I need to build something, not literally, but also both figuratively and literally. Actually, I enjoy taking companies or organizations and growing them. I think I'm pretty good at building teams and building morale and building a good organization, both technically and operationally. And just looking forward to being able to help somebody out in that standpoint, whether it be kind of an interim CEO or a CTO or even just advisory. So, right now I'm sitting on a couple of boards, and those are great. I just like to get a little bit more involved in a couple other applications. So, but they'll come along. As Chris was saying, earlier, stuff doesn't happen until it happens, and it all happens at the same time. And that's been my experience in life as well. It's like all of a sudden I'll have 7 different competing things going on. I mean, in January already, I've got like 5 people that want me to come visit, and I'm just like, there's not enough weeks in January to go to go visit. So.
You got to learn when to say no, though. That was like one of my biggest lessons of 2023 is saying no, because I got completely burnt out in October and I got sick and I was just like, did not want to get out of bed for a couple weeks. And I was like, I got to force myself to do this. So definitely learn how to say no. But Sean, it's great to see you. I know that I want to connect with you because I'm starting a new series called The Moment with Mavens, and I want you to be one of the guests for that series and just talk more about some of the things that you're doing on the consulting side of things, because automation is still fairly new. There's a lot of things that people don't know about automation. I myself included don't know a lot of stuff that's happening in that sector, and I think you're one of the top people that has a lot of knowledge about it. I follow you and Chris. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Chris S. but he writes a lot of articles
Stereo,
about automation. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. He writes a lot of articles about automation too, and that's like one of the main resources where I get my information from, because he's such a good writer. Like, I appreciate his writing style.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well,
That's funny.
Chad,
That's another one of those relationships that was in the beginning. Chris and I kind of like, pecked at each other a little bit, and then all of a sudden we were like, wait a minute, we're actually a lot more similar than we think we are. So he's one of those old curmudgeons as well too.
Yeah, it's funny because there were some people in my circle that were like not liking him too much, and I was like, well, why? Like, he has an opinion, and I think it's cool that he's willing to have an open dialogue about it. It's not like he's trying to say you're wrong. He's just like, no, there's another perspective from it. So
I have no problem with people disagreeing. It's just doing it respectfully. And then some people don't like you to disagree. So well, that's their problem.
They can get over it. That's okay.
Exactly.
Sean, if you had an ask for our audience, what would your ask be for them?
Ask for the audience. Give back to the community, whether it's through universities, whether it's through trade schools, whether it's through Vex Robotics in the high school level, even down to the elementary level, or even just giving back to other businesses. Share your information. In this industry, everybody thinks they're all competitors, and quite honestly, there's not a lot of overlap. There's some overlap, of course, here and there, but we all have our niches. We all have the things that we're really good at. So if there's a project that doesn't work for you, don't just say no. Go find another company that can do it and share that project. The next time they'll share a project with you. So just make the community a lot more tighter knit, and it's a big family reunion when we get together at A3 and Automate and all these shows and all like that. And that's what I've always loved this industry. It is kind of a big family reunion, and just like families, there's family members that don't get along, and there's family members that love each other. So it's a little microcosm of the world.
I really liked your meme that you posted after Automate with the Spider-Man with all the influencers. You're like, they get one all. I just laughed so hard at that. I was like, this is why I appreciate Sean.
And part of it is picking out of love, and you always say, sarcasm is my love language, so if you can't, if you can't see through that, there, and with everybody, there's people who add to the conversation. There's people, quite honestly, that don't really add to the conversation, but that's for everybody's individual choice to figure out who they want to listen to.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Sean. I appreciate you showing up, and I will be in touch so that we can schedule something for 2024. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Well, that was amazing. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in for joining. We went a little bit over an hour, which is totally fine. I will have a replay of this on Mavens of Manufacturing YouTube channel. And before I let you go, again, I want to give a shout out to Brian Warren. If you have time or any desire to give, please give to Brian. They just found out that his 2-year-old has cancer. So here are some of the links that you can follow and donate to. If not, prayers are always welcome as well too. He is on LinkedIn, so you can reach out to him and find more about his story and Jake's story. Again, his 2-year-old son, his name is Jake, and they just recently found out that he has cancer. And I'm a big connector, and I'm a big believer in lifting each other up. So whatever I can do to help, that's what I'm going to do. And promoting this is one of the things that I can do to kind of help. So please go to all of those links. I will have them in LinkedIn in the comment section, and just reach out. If you want to reach out to him, Brian Warren, BrianWarren, and just reach out and see what he needs. So I hope you guys have a great holiday. Thank you for joining in and tuning in. And I got one comment section. Oh, thanks for doing this, Meaghan. You're welcome, Emily. Thank you for joining. Andrew says, good show, Meaghan. Nice to meet some of these people in your network. And please connect. The only way that we're going to uplift manufacturing and engineering in the United States is if we continue to work together and collaborate with one another. We have a lot of work to do in terms of bringing awareness and educating. Some of the guests that weren't able to make it, Drew Crow tried tapping in, but he kept getting kicked out. But follow him as well too, because he's doing some amazing things in this space. So I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye. This episode of Mavens of Manufacturing has been sponsored by Z-Ink Solutions. Z-Ink Solutions. This isn't your grandmother's copywriting service. We provide copywriting and copy editing services that provide impactful text and memorable storytelling for a variety of brands and industries. Contact us today at zincssolutions.com. That's z-inksolutions.com.